What is good, YouTube? It is your boy, Zeiler, checking in for what seems to be a brand new installment, as well as a brand new implementation on the channel. Not gonna lie, it's pretty late. It is 12:40 a.m., 12:41 a.m., and I'm in the studio here, and I've been messing around a bit with my setup, messing around with my camera, as it's been having issues focusing. I'm not even guaranteeing that I'm going to post this. I'm a bit on the tired side, so I apologize for that. I just ate 5 slices of pizza, and I'm ready to wind down and get ready for sleep here very soon. Regardless, I just wanted to test some of this video audio in here, mess around with the lighting because the exposure in this room can be quite weird, and I'm wondering if I should perhaps consider getting some new lighting fixtures just to, better the appearance of some of my videos. I just wanted to kind of chill, talk with you guys, update you on some things. I've been dealing a lot with my mother's passing, dealing with her estate as we get ready to sell her house. We are in that process very deeply right now, and it's been a process that has lasted the past several months since April when she passed. Going to her house, emptying out the house, having garage sales, going through all of my childhood memorabilia, a lot of my old toys, old journals, drawings, memories, nostalgia, you name it. And it's been a very demanding process, to say the least. Emotionally, in terms of energy, I know I'm a pretty big, capable, hulking guy, but we've moved a lot of furniture, washers, dryers, couches, chairs, dressers, you name it. It's been some hard work. It's required a lot of dedication. It's required a lot of, thought. It's required a lot of mindfulness, and it feels good to be, nearing the end of it all, if that makes sense, in terms of letting go of this childhood home. In terms of training, I have been training like an absolute savage, and we are now in the winter arc, and I'm kind of considering doing a bit of a growing phase in the near future. It's been a minute since I've really hyper-focused on, taking several weeks and really dedicating myself to this craft of, building this vessel of mine. And, I know I talk on and off about competing. I talk on and off about my whole takeaway, my mindset as to why it is that I continue to work on my body the way that I do. I have an idea of what I want to look like, and I like to consider myself a walking manifestation of a driven internal mindset, if that makes sense. In fact, I talked to 2 different people earlier in the gym about discipline, asking me about mindset and how I'm not bored with it yet, And I gotta admit, guys, the whole gym aspect of it, I don't think I'll ever get bored of the gym. The specifics of bodybuilding and the fitness industry and the social media aspect of it, and the fact that I have done this for half of my life, made a living from fitness, made a living from motivating others, impacting others, personal training. The gym itself has been a foundation for a lot of my life. It's been a foundation for keeping my spirit high, keeping my spirit in check. Some of the disciplines that I developed very early on became habitual, to where showing up to the gym, it doesn't require effort. In fact, keeping me away from the gym is a much more difficult task in itself. For me to take a rest day, it takes a lot for me to stay away from that place. And, I'm a person who's been a bit of a bro, admittedly, and going to the gym 7 days a week, 365 days a year. In more recent times, I take rest days instinctively when I feel the need to rest. So when someone asks me about the mindset, that question is much more complex than what I'm really, able to go into in just a 4-minute conversation, because I could come on this platform and talk about mindset for hours. Dating back to when I was very young, and when I was very young, I'm talking like single digits, I've always set out to have qualities that others would look up to. I've always had pretty positive self-internal talk when it comes to certain disciplines. And I've learned a lot about myself given my career, given my upbringing, given the situations that I've been through. I've had the ability to spend a lot of time studying myself and, going back and studying some of the situations I've went through and having a better understanding as to why those situations happened and why I dealt with those situations in the way that I did, as well as, how I got through them. I've really been able to mold myself over time. And, I'm big on the law of attraction. I'm big on frequency and, carrying yourself at a vibrational level and having an awareness of your self-talk at all times. I would like to talk to you guys more about, the spiritual side of things, the state of awareness that I've been able to develop and carry in my day-to-day activities, interactions. And I truly believe that I have made some discoveries in terms of my spiritual awareness that would be worth sharing for some of you guys. When it comes to mindset, for example, recognizing the simple fact that we as human beings, we have a spirit that is separate from the brain, and that we are not our brain. We are a separate entity, and this is, as I said before, our vessel. And a lot of us get programmed. Our brains are easily programmed, articulated from our forces around us, and many people just have the same thoughts on a day-to-day basis. They have the same programming, and they have the same routines. And once you start to view yourself as being capable of breaking these habitual routines, that's when your awareness starts to rise. And that's where your ability to shift your thoughts, ultimately shifting your reality and recreating this three-dimensional world that you live in, that type of awareness is extremely impactful. And for me, it's allowed me to do the very things that I've set out to do since I was very young. And since I was very young, I've always manifested myself impacting people. Since then, for half my life, since I was 15 years old, I have had that ability as I've had to kind of discover myself in some of these forms of turmoil and challenges throughout life. But ultimately, it has brought me to a state of awareness where I really like myself. I really like my current state of being. I really like where my mind is heading. And I've been able to completely destroy a lot of self-destructive thinking that I used to have in the past. And it just came with my ability of breaking down my self-talk, my self-image, the way that I used to speak to myself internally, my internal monologue of how I would react to people, forces, circumstances around me. I've came a long way. And obviously, I could just continue going on for hours about this. But when a person asks me in the gym, what is the mindset behind being able to do this for so long? It's not that simple. It comes down with awareness. It comes down to breaking down your self-talk. Is the voice in your head positive? Is it negative? Are you feeding yourself positive or negative energy? Are the people that you surround yourself around positive or negative? All of these things are extremely impactful to your state of being. And so by me starting to come on here talking about this more, I just feel called to do so. I feel there's something calling me to start using my voice, in essence, and to start talking a bit more to show that I'm more than just a bodybuilder. I'm more than just the dude who had cancer and overcame it. I've learned a lot of very interesting things about myself that I truly am convinced would be worth sharing with those around me, especially a lot of you guys who have followed me for so long. So I've recently done a few posts to social media asking you guys, to ask me questions so that I could do some Q&A videos. And I'm not going to lie, there have been so many questions asked that I have gotten overwhelmed sitting down recording Q&A videos. But after evaluating it all, I've kind of made the decision to take many of the questions that you guys have asked, and instead of doing one single Q&A video, spending more time breaking up all of these questions into individual videos where I make more drawn out responses. And one thing about this I want to mention as well, I don't want to do a lot of scripted content, but I also like the idealism of being raw with you guys, being put on the spot with ideals, or simply touching a topic and just talking about it and breaking it down obsessively, just to show you guys my mentality and, my feelings at a spiritual level, and share with you guys some of the abilities that I have developed through mindset and through gaining awareness to overall help you guys in some way. I think it would be interesting. I think it could spark an interesting direction, to say the least, on this channel that, I haven't really touched on before. So with that said, this has just kind of been a test video more than anything, just for the lighting, the audio, but I may end up posting it just to put out some kind of content where I'm able to engage with you guys, let you know what's been going on a bit, and kind of direct you as to where I'm thinking about going with some of the content on this platform. So with that said, you guys, this has been your boy Zeiler. I love you guys so much. Until next time. Peace out. Bye.